students so that they can also connect themselves with their fellow students from around the globe. And thank you. Generation Global seem to be very relevant to this context. I do believe this is the right time that teacher and student play a more active role in doing international collaboration with their fellow from other part of the globe. In this way, teacher and students can really prepare themselves to be part of global citizen. As I learned about the Generation Global, which is part of the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change, I have strong feeling that this is why actually madrasah teacher and student need if they really want to connect themselves to the world. Generation Global has a long history and years of experience in facilitating very positive and safe dialogue among student and teacher from around the world. The dialogue topic varies from promoting peace and understanding, promoting tolerance in diversity, cultural and knowledge exchange, medical ethics, the power of narrative, communication ethics, and so forth. And this is exactly what our madrasah teacher and student need to access. From what I read, Generation Global has organized hundreds of schools with affiliated that have affiliated with if many years, including around 100 schools in Indonesia. However, there are not many madrasah in Indonesia make use of amazing free international education institute so far. Therefore, in this occasion, I would like extend my appreciation to Man 2 Kota Malang, which has been part of this global movement for almost 10 years. Inshallah, the teacher coordinator from Man 2 Kota Malang, Mr. Yoga, will also share his expertise in implementing the Generation Global Education Resources at this afternoon webinar. I really hope that after this afternoon webinar, there will be more madrasah to connect themselves to this international education platform for the sake of the student future journey. Madrasah teacher in Indonesia need to provide access to student in voicing what they believe, feel, and understand about what is going on in their community, be it family, neighbor, school, and other communities. Then they will eventually learn to share what they have with their peers from different background. In that way, the student will start learn to see their world and future from different and broad perspective. By the end of the webinar, I really hope that the principal will provide all the necessary support to the teacher to start connecting themselves to any possible digital platform like Generation Global. To all the English teacher, I really expect your commitment in mind and in action, that you have an obligation to provide better access of digital resources for your students. Please join this afternoon webinar sincerely and make a real action afterward. This webinar is intended as the opening gate for all the student English teacher in Indonesia to start connecting yourself to the world, and you can start your journey from this afternoon. The last but not the least, once again, I would like to thank the board of committee of Generation Global for initiative and collaboration. Looking forward to collaboration again in the future. And let we open this event with this basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Oh, mestinya Pak Zen yang buka. Oke, nanti kita aja Pak Zen. That's all for me. Thank you very much. And have an insightful webinar. Wabillahi taufiq walhidayah walinayah. Wallahul muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak Ali Ramdhani.
Okay.
Pak Zen, Alhamdulillah. Welcome to our session. Now we
Okay.
just switch. We just switched the session. We are not leaving you behind, Pak Muhammad Zen.
Yeah.
Not at
Thank you.
all. So we're going to continue to the presentation, but before the presentation, we would like to have some opening remarks from the Director of Teacher and Education Staff of the Ministry of Religious Affairs, Bapak Dr. Muhammad Zen. Bapak Dr. Muhammad Zen, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Pak Dirjen, Profesor. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah wa syukurillah wa la hawla wa la quwata illa billah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ala wa ba'd. Honorable General Director of Islamic Education, Ministry of Religious Affairs Indonesia, Profesor Dr. M. Ali Ramdhani. Thank you. Honorable Speaker Lucy Hayter, Director of Generation Global based in UK, London. Thank you. Honorable Shruti Sharma, DG Partnership and Marketing Communication Lead. Thank you for your attention to us. Ahmad Tohir Yoga, he is a coordinator of Generation Global Mandua, Malang, East Java. He is an amazing teacher and inspiring teacher. Honorable Ibuatiwardani, coordinator of Generation Global Indonesia. Thank you. And all participants. I hope everyone joining this webinar as well. I would like to start by sharing my personal experience when I visit Oxford University, London, UK, and hosted by a senior lecturer at Oxford University, Dr. Masud Bano, back in 2018. I had an opportunity to visit Chinese middle school in UK and observed how religion education was taught at the school. I was really impressed at how the religion teacher, Mrs. Emily, implemented the religious education in a very fun, democratic, and dialogical way. The students were divided into groups of 4 to 5 persons. Then the teacher starts the session by giving brief general overview about the topic to be discussed. I remember the topic was about abortion. And I noticed that every single student has the book discussion about the topic that they had read before coming to class. As soon as the teacher finished the brief overview, and students started sharing their argument and opinion, if they agree or not with abortion. It was a very lively discussion. Students were saying the thought that they shared that they know, these things they feel about the topic. And they seem to be very enthusiastic and confident with their opinions. I always remember the moment of when thinkings of madrasahs in Indonesia. I always dream of having the madrasahs teachers who encourage the students to be independent and confident learners by giving necessary access to them. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now living in the fourth industrial revolution era with the ICT as the major trend and the innovation. Our world is now borderless. The world is flat, Thomas Friedman says, we can know what is going on in other part of the world just in matter of the seconds. Everyone is connected online. In a book entitled No Other Disruption, 2/3 of the global citizens are now connected to the internet. I say IoT, Internet of Things. We even witness today that the people live in the rural area in Indonesia has smartphones which connect them to the world through WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, I reasoned why I mentioned about my experience when I visit Oxford University and about what is going on in the so-called ICT era today is that as a teacher, we need to adjust our approach to the education in our classroom. We have to prepare our students as a part of the global citizenship. The student need to be given an experience and a knowledge about global dexterity. And I believe program the Generation Global is a very good entry point for the purpose. Generation Global provides sufficient resources to train and connect our students with their fellow students in other parts of the globe. Students are trained to communicate, interact, sharing, and do dialogue with their peer about that they believe, they think, and they know about the current issues in the world. Therefore, I am very positive that this kind of collaboration need to be supported and given spaces to grow for sake of our future generation. Ladies and gentlemen, the global dexterity that I mentioned earlier should be addressed not only for junior and senior high school students, but also for the college students. They also need to be trained about the importance of being part of the global citizenship. In this context, Generation Global, or GG, which focus on junior and senior high school students, is then become very relevant to the teachers need to provide today, what Madrasah need today, and relevant to what teacher need to provide today, and what student need to access today. A student need to be given an cross-cultural understanding, global dexterity from the young age, so that we will be more prepared to face to more competitive future and be part of global peace ambassadors. On behalf of Ministry of Religious Affairs in Indonesia, please once again allow to extend our sincere gratitude and appreciation to General Global Team who have opened the door for this collaboration to happen. Appreciation also goes to Mandua, Kota Malang, Malang City is in East Java, which has played the good role model by its active involvement in this wonderful Generation Global platform for almost 10 years. I do hope after this webinar, there will be more and more madrasah in Indonesia participate in the Generation Global to open the access for the teachers and the students to the world. Finally, let me take this opportunity to say thank you so much, everyone, for taking your time to participate in this webinar. Have a productive and good productive discussion. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad Zain, for the warmest remark. Now, we're going to go to the discussion session, but before, let me just open all of your mic? Let me ask, yes, because I would like to introduce one by one, and then I'd like you to and check your mic before we continue. Okay, wait. Okay, let me. Okay, great. Okay. Okay, then we have come to our discussion. However, before we have the presentation from our cherished presenters, let me read a bit of their bio. So here first we have Lucy Hayter, the Director of Generation Global. Ms. Hayter is passionate about the power of dialogue in transforming the lives of young people to become active. Open... Yes, I'm sorry. I thought somebody. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just continue. Lucy Hayter is the director of Generation Global. Ms. Hayter is passionate about the power of dialogue in transforming the lives of young people to become active, open-minded, and global citizens. For more than 2 decades, Ms. Hayter has led international nonprofit institutions and programs, operating in leadership roles at Leonard Cheshire, the Cheery Blair Foundation for Women, IDE UK, and Christian Aid. She has worked with some incredible and inspiring people along the way. Ms. Hayter has designed and delivered large-scale, complex, and impactful education, livelihood, and emergency response programs through the partnerships across the world, often with a specific interest in gender, human rights, and disability inclusion. Ms. Hayter, how are you today?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm very well, thank you very much.
I believe it's like
to be here.
Yeah, I believe it's like 8 o'clock in the morning in Britain.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It's exactly
Okay.
8 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, thank you for being here anyway. And second, we have Ms. Shruti Sharma, recently lead partnership, marketing, and communication in Generation Global. She is an education enthusiast with a decade of experience working as a management consultant, advising governments, funding agencies in non-profit organizations, and corporates across sectors such as energy, power, operations, education, and skill development. Her expertise lies in designing and implementing large-scale education solutions, improving efficiency of academic processes, and developing new market expansion strategies. Ms. Sharma, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'm looking forward to the session today. Thank you so much.
And it is around like 12:30 in the afternoon in India?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, and next we have finally, we have Bapak Ahmad Thohir Yoga after the struggle to come into the Zoom session. The coordinating teacher of Generation Global at MAN 2 Kota Malang. Pak Yoga is passionate about global education and partnership. This has led him to be connected with many international education agencies like Generation Global, Asia Education Foundation, Bridge in Australia, IGSN in Malaysia, IIMS in Japan, and many more. Apart from teaching at MAN 2 Kota Malang, he is also a lecturer at University of Muhammadiyah Malang, State Islamic University of Malang, and other universities in Malang. His current position is the Deputy Principal for Public Relations Affairs at MAN 2 Kota Malang. Pak Yoga, how are you today? Hello?
Assalamualaikum, Alhamdulillah. I'm just feeling fantastic and energized, Mbak Yuna. Thank you so much.
Not to count the challenge to be here, right?
It was just fantastic challenge.
Yeah, okay. And then the last one, not least, the last speaker we will have today is Ibu Ibuatiwardani. She is the country coordinator for Generation Global in Indonesia, and she has been working with Generation Global since the past decade. She is interested in intercultural programs and had the opportunity to participate in peace education workshop for Asia Pacific teachers held by UNESCO Korea. The opportunity has led her to be a peace education facilitators or trainers for teachers and students organized by ASP.NET UNESCO Indonesia. She also has a license to be an international learning to live together trainer, a program by Arigato International Organization. Assalamualaikum Ibu Wati, how are you today?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Great, Mbak Yuna, Bu Yuna ya. Mbak Yuna ya.
Yeah, either way is fine, Ibu. Thank you very much. Now, before we start our presentation and discussion, I would like to remind you again to mark your attendance in the circulated form. If you have some questions, please put them in the form as well, because I will take questions submitted from the form to be read after the presentations are over. I will give time now to Miss Lucy Hayter to deliver her speech about fostering global citizenship education for the youth through Generation Global. Miss Hayter, the time is yours.
Thank you very much, Yuna, much appreciated. And salam alaikum, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here with you today and to join so many educators who are as passionate about the importance of global citizenship education as we are at Generation Global. Firstly, let me say thank you to Professor Dr. Ali Ramdani, General Director of Islamic Education at the Ministry of Religious Affairs, for his keynote address and for sharing his vision for education in Indonesia and his full support for our partnership together. Thank you also to Mohammed Zain, Director of Teachers and Education Staff of Madrasah, Ministry of Religious Affairs, Indonesia, for his insightful opening remarks and for sharing his experience of time in observing religious education in the UK. And many thanks to Yuna yourself, Wati, Yoga and Shruti for facilitating this incredible opportunity for me to meet with you all today to present the Generation Global programme and for also their ongoing hard work and support for the programme. There are about 1.8 billion young people between the ages of 10 and 24, the largest youth population ever. And young adults today face unique challenges not seen by previous generations. As we heard from Mohammed Zain, he explained how we're now in the fourth industrial revolution, and we need to prepare students as global citizens and peace ambassadors. They enter the workforce today with lower employment opportunities, increased mental health issues exacerbated by the COVID crisis, and greater concern about climate change and other aspects than ever before. In the face of these global challenges, young people are demanding more equitable and sustainable societies and are coming together on these shared concerns and values. Through programs such as Generation Global, we provide young people with the space to explore these real contemporary concerns together through dialogue. And by doing so, they can become active, global, and open-minded citizens and peace ambassadors ready to tackle the challenges of the future. I'd now like to share with you a presentation so that we can show you how we engage young people through the Generation programme and how your madrasas and students can participate in our activities. So the Generation Global programme is a global citizenship education programme of the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change. It equips young people aged 13 to 17 to become active and open-minded global citizens. Our curriculum and resources enable students to learn and practice the 5 core skills of dialogue. We established the programme in 2009, and we work in over 30 countries in Asia, Middle East, North Africa, Europe, and the Americas. We enable students to dialogue with global peers via video conferences and online dialogue spaces. And Shruti will be showing you a bit more about that in her presentation. So the programme has trained over 15,000 teachers and worked with over 550,000 students. It's enabled 4,000 plus classroom video conferences and 400 plus online encounters between students internationally. Our latest programme, called the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, which I think your students will really enjoy, has over 7,000 registered students from over 50 countries. And we work together with madrasas, with school networks and partnerships, but also governments. So the Italian, Jordanian, Australian Northern Territory, state governments in India, such as Andhra Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir. So your students get the opportunity to participate with students from all over the globe. And also, don't just take our word for it. We believe our program has transformational impact on students. And an independent evaluation carried out in 2016 showed a significant improvement in open-mindedness amongst young people. So I mentioned a bit about our reach and our impact globally. We work in over 50 countries, 3,700 schools, and we work with a number of different types of partners. Our resources have been recognized by United Nations, UNESCO, as you will know it, the Club de Madrid, Brookings Institute, and the UK Department for Education, not to mention our partnerships with governments in the Australian Northern Territory, Jordan, and Egypt. You can see from this map the dots which illustrate where we work. So we really do have a global reach from as far as Australia, including Indonesia, through to Mexico, to North America. And so we really engage students from across the globe. In Indonesia in particular, we've worked with over 300 schools and 700 teachers have been trained, with 1,000 video conferences and more, and 6,000 students have engaged with global peers through our video conferences and our written dialogues. So what is Generation Global? What do we exactly do? So in creating these interactions and opportunities, we do that so they can learn the 5 core skills of dialogue. And these are illustrated in the diagram that you see to your right. So we call them active listening is 1, questioning, global communication, reflection, and critical thinking. Together, these core skills help young people to be able to understand themselves and people who are different to themselves better, and to be able to navigate the world with core communication and intercultural skills. The skills are outcome-based and focused on developing core skills. They promote student ownership and accountability, and they build on learning objectives that support identity awareness, inclusion, cultural understanding, and open-mindedness. Associated with these 5 core skills are some of the actions. So in global communication, students get to share their personal stories and experiences, the challenges that they face, and the perspectives of others in a respectful way. We don't talk about debate, it's not debate, it's very different to that. It's about dialogue and understanding and respecting one another's perspective. Active listening is really important, so appreciating and acknowledging the perspective of others by providing feedback to peers. Critical thinking, so analysing, not just accepting what you hear, but analysing the world, the different identities, including what influences you and also how you think and what you believe. And questioning, so going deeper, why do you think this? Exploring some of the topics, reflecting on the experience of self and others to make connections with different stories and identities. So we do that through a number of our educational products. All of our programs are designed for students that are aged 13 to 17. So we specifically target that age group. Our products are free of charge. We're a not-for-profit organisation under the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change, and they're freely available through our website. It's applicable across many subjects. So whether you're teaching global citizenship, religious education, or extracurricular activities, our programme can be adapted and incorporated into your existing curricula. It's interdisciplinary, it's available on low and high tech access, so it's available on a mobile phone, so you can go through what we call our ultimate dialogue adventure via mobile, or you can use a laptop or desktop. many different ways in which to engage. And you explore global issues. So touched on some of these: climate change, human rights, girls and women's rights, hate speech, social media, fake news. These are just some of the 11 topics that we have available on our site in the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure. And you get to practice as a student the skills of dialogue, build intercultural connections through the video conferences. You'll get to dialogue, your students will get to dialogue with students from other countries, such as Mexico, India, the UK, Indonesia, other students in Indonesia, and all over the world. So some of the products that we have, and I'm going to touch on these just very briefly because Shruti will go into some of these in a bit more detail. The Ultimate Dialogue Adventure is a self-directed program for students. They learn the 5 core skills, they explore global topics, but it's gamified, so it's fun. They earn points, they move up titles, so they can move from their starting point of a dialogue amoeba. There's lots of characters. A dialogue wombat is the ultimate dialogue master, and it's exciting because they get to book video conferences. And also teachers can access to see how they're progressing through the site and what they're learning. So you will be able to monitor how your students are progressing, see what video conferences they're engaged in, allocate them video conferences or topics to participate in. So it's very interactive and really designed so that teachers can make full use of the resource as well. I mentioned about the video conferences, and we've just completed an SDG, the United Sustainable Development Goals Dialogue Series, which enables students to learn about the Sustainable Development Goals, such as poverty, equality, aspects of climate change, and then also practice engage with their peers over a short period of time. So this was over 4 weeks. They learned 4 Sustainable Development Goals in that time. Excuse me. And then the teaching resources. So we have downloadable curriculum, our Essentials of Dialogue, which you can access from our website. And then we also have briefing notes on contemporary issues that may concern you. And then Teacher Companion, which helps you to navigate the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure alongside your student. And we're hoping to unlock more professional development opportunities for you, training in how to teach dialogue skills in the classroom. Just moving on swiftly. So what are the benefits for students? Well, they gain the global exposure to other young people 13 to 17 from across 30 countries. They develop the 21st century skills, critical thinking, active listening, reflection, communication, questioning. And these will carry them into their universities, into their employment, and through life. They'll learn about those global issues I mentioned before, such as climate change, human rights, hate speech, and so on. And they practice their English language skills. So we've kept the English language within the site as simple as possible so that they learn the language, but they're also able to enjoy the site as well. Engage with diversity, so hands-on learning, lots of videos and lots of different perspectives within the site. And then they can become a global citizen and contribute to being active and open-minded individuals. So I wanted just to share and finish off with a couple of testimonies. So this is from one of the students we have in India, and she said, when I joined Generation Global, I lacked self-confidence, but soon I witnessed a remarkable change in my personality. Coming across people with different thoughts, values, religions, languages, and cultures is bound to broaden your mind and make you see the world with an entirely new vision. And here, there's some photographs here of when we were able to come together in the classroom and how we were teaching dialogue skills and engaging students at a classroom level with other students through the video conference. And you may see in the top right-hand corner some students from Indonesia. And then a testimony from a teacher. So this is from a teacher in Indonesia who said to me, as an English language teacher, Generation Global is a great tool, not only to motivate my students to be more serious in learning English, but also equips me to help my students to be open-minded, have more confidence as Muslims, to connect with and speak with the world. Generation Global is a solution, how to prepare them to be good Muslim leaders with open-mindedness to see the diverse world. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to stop there and happy to share our contact details with you should you wish to get in touch. Of course, Wati is our in-country coordinator, Wati Wardani, and also Yoga, thank you so much for hosting and facilitating today, who is also point person for Generation Global in Indonesia, but myself and Shruti are also contactable, and some web links that are also here. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop sharing now.
Thank you, Lucy, for the presentation. Now we will proceed to the second presentation by Ms. Shruti Sharma. She will deliver Bridging Global Students Connection through Generation Global. Ms. Sharma, you may proceed.
Thank you so much, Fiona. Good afternoon, everyone. Selamat siang, everyone. Apa kabar? Namaste from New Delhi in India. My name is Shruti Sharma, and I'm extremely honored to be presenting on this platform today. It was such a privilege to listen to both the keynote speech and the opening remarks, both of which stressed on the importance of online learning and international collaboration. I just want to take a moment to thank the Honorable General Director for Religious Education, Ministry of Religious Affairs in Indonesia, Professor Dr. Ali Ramadhani, and Honorable Director Dr. Muhammad Zain, the Director of Teachers and Education Staff of Madrasah's Ministry of Religious Affairs in Indonesia, and the entire Ministry of Religious Affairs for really giving us this opportunity to share with the wonderful educators that have connected today on how they can learn and how they can connect their students to the world. Also, my thank yous will not be complete without thanking Yoga, who is one of the most active teachers of Generation Global in Indonesia, for all his support and all his contribution to help scale up Generation Global and to bring it to what it is today. And I really hope by the end of today's session, we see many of you educators actively using these tools and resources to help your students become active global citizens. I'm going to start sharing my screen for a very quick presentation. I hope y'all are all able to see my screen.
Yeah.
Yes, great. Thank you so much. So as Lucy has already set out the context for what we do, who we are, and our different educational products, what I want to do is dive a little deeper into some of these products so that you can see how you as educators can use them in practical ways in the classroom. So some of the educational products that I'll talk about are teaching resources, video conference dialogue, and our online educational game called the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure. So teaching resources. Think of these as very simple, easy to do skill building activities or exercises that you can do with groups of students, if you're teaching face-to-face in the classroom, or you can easily do them even online if you're teaching through Zoom or Google or any other digital platform. They're extremely flexible and they're meant to complement the subject. So I know there are a lot of English teachers here today. So in fact, there are so many English teachers in Indonesia as well as around the world who are using these teaching resources, these skill building activities to help train their students, help their students develop some of the 21st century skills in the most interactive, fun, and experiential way. So they're really making skill building fun. And all these resources have step-by-step guidance. There are worksheets, theory, and assessment criteria, which make them very easy to use and take into your classroom. If you can see on my screen, there is our foundational resource, as you can see on the right, is called Essentials of Dialogue. So this really builds the foundation of what dialogue is and of what dialogue skills are. Again, like all our resources, it contains guidance and instructions and theory and all the easy to use resources, easy to use tools and instructions for you to really practically implement this in the classroom. In addition to Essentials of Dialogue, we have many more teaching resources, some of which you can see on my screen. And each of these, as you can see, teaching resources is linked to a global issue. So, you can use these teaching resources, which are all available as PDFs. So you can just download them from the teacher portal. As Lucy mentioned, they're all free of cost. There is no charge for even teachers or students to download and access these resources or any of our other educational products. So these teaching resources, be it on education, climate change, wealth and poverty, civic participation, rights and inequalities, will help you teach global issues and help your students think critically about global issues in a fun and engaging and experiential way. Moving on to the second product, educational product, video conferences. And this is really the most exciting part of the program, not just for me, but for all the teachers and students that have ever participated in Generation Global. So what is a video conference? It is a sort of virtual exchange, or think of it as like an online video conversation in real time with young people all around the world. But what is it that makes it so exciting? If I have to give you my own example, when I was in school, like many years ago, the only students that I interacted with were in my class, or maybe like from other sections, or some students or some young people in the building or the community I lived in. I did not interact with other students from India, different cities in India, let alone interact with students around the world. But now imagine through Generation Global, your students, the students who are studying in madrasas, have this opportunity to talk to another student in Mexico to understand what rights of women and girls there are, or to another student in India to understand, how they're experiencing climate change. What is it that they're doing to combat challenges of climate change? And this itself is so empowering, it's so liberating, because we don't ask our young people what they feel, what they think. Just this opportunity to be on an international platform, to internationally collaborate with young people around the world, is uncomparable to anything that we're doing in the classroom. I mean, imagine you're just sitting at home, or you're in your classroom, and one afternoon you're transported halfway across the world to interact with so many different students, to learn from them, to connect, to understand what their different perspectives are, what challenges they're facing in their community. And like I said, if I was a young person when I was in school and I had the opportunity to be in Generation Global, I would be a completely different person altogether. So video conferences, they're 60 minutes long. They're all moderated by a trained facilitator. I would really want to emphasize this point. So it's not young people coming together to chit chat. It's not like a meeting, or, it's not a debate. They're all safe spaces which are moderated by a trained facilitator that leads young people into a dialogue. We offer them in 3 age groups, 13 to 14, 15 plus, as well as mixed age groups or intergenerational video conferences. And again, on the right, you can see some pictures where students, I think the first one is students from Philippines and students from India who were on a video conference. This was one we were having video conferences from class, but now we also do them from home. So students can join individually using a mobile phone or a tablet or a computer or whatever device they have access to. So now you will wonder what happens in a video conference. How does this dialogue really happen? So as I said, we have a facilitator. The facilitator starts by setting out certain protocols and ground rules, which really sets the tone for the entire video conference and helps students make the most out of their learning experience. The video conference begins by students sharing on a global issue. So say, for example, if they're in a video conference on climate change, students will start sharing by saying, by sharing their own personal stories of how they're experiencing climate change and how it's impacted them. And then we move into inquiry. And this is really where the heart of the dialogue is. This is where students get the opportunity to ask each other questions, ask those why questions, those how questions, ask those open-ended questions to dig deeper. So based on what students had shared, we then, in the inquiry round, have students asking each other. They're respectfully challenging. The idea is not to get into a debate, but to understand and learn from each other. And the last part of the video conference is reflection. So we really want to give students and our young people the opportunity to analyze and understand their learning experience, which is why they get some time at the end of the video conference to reflect. And the facilitator also shares real-time feedback with the students at the end of the video conference. But all this is only possible if we have teachers who practice some of the activities from the teaching resources with the young people. And by practice, we don't mean preparing them with pre-written notes. It's just to stimulate their thought process on the global issue so that they're comfortable when they come into this safe online environment. Sounds fun, right? Moving to another fun product that we just launched last year called the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure. It is very simply, it is a game where, it's a gamified skill building platform where students get points and they earn badges and titles for practicing skills. So they're really learning skills to be a global citizen. And as they're doing that, they're getting more points and they're moving across different levels and they're earning these fun titles. In the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, we have content on, again, different global issues, just like we have our video conferences, as well as the teaching resources. So there are online modules, and in a minute, I'll show you what an online module looks like. So, this is really to build their understanding and knowledge of a global issue. The Ultimate Dialogue Adventure works on low bandwidth. It is accessible and compatible across different mobiles, laptops, tablets, different devices that young people can use. You get to interact with peers or students from 50+ countries. And another important point is that it is safe and inclusive. So we meet web accessibility guidelines. So even if there are students with hearing impairment or visual impairment who use screen readers, they can also access the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure. The entire color scheme, the font, everything has been designed with keeping in mind accessibility guidelines. So first, let me show you what an online module looks like. Say if a student clicks on a module for the rights of women and girls, the first page that the student sees is what the topic covers. So it's essentially an overview of, what the student will learn and what are the skills that the student will develop. So that's the first thing we tell the student. When the student starts learning or, enters the module, they actually learn from different formats or different types of content. So they can either watch like a video, which can be a story of another young person from a different country. They can look at different statistics, different infographics, again, different forms of information and briefings for young people to build their knowledge and understanding of that global issue. And the third component of the online module is activities. So there again, fun activities to just check for understanding of what the young person or what the student has understood after going through the content. So these activities can be multiple choice questions. They could be like Likert scale questions, or they could even be reflective writing style questions. So all these three put together is an online module, which helps build the young person's understanding, our students' understanding of different global issues, and it also helps them pick up on different skills. How is the gamified aspect of it on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure? So if you can see on the bottom right, as soon as I practice an action, I earn points. So Lucy spoke about some of the core skills and some of the actions linked with each of the core skills. So if I practice, say, the action of reflecting, or if I practice, say, the action of challenging, I earn points. The more points I earn, the better the title I get. So say, for example, there are different titles. So we wanted the animal kingdom to also be inclusive. So we have the dialogue lemur, the dialogue wolf frog, the dialogue octopus. So these are also fun titles that students pick up along the way. We didn't want to have, your cat, dog, just because we wanted the animal kingdom to also be inclusive. And the last component of the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure is a dialogue space. So just like a video conference is video-based dialogue, on the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, students can participate in written dialogue spaces. So they can type a dialogue, write a dialogue, or they can respond to an existing dialogue from another student, depending on where the student is. That student could be in India, Indonesia, Mexico, so from another student around the world. So here they're practicing their written English. Also, they're practicing some of the key actions that are linked to the core skills of dialogue. So I hope you're very clear on what the 3 educational products are, or at least you have a better understanding. The teaching resources are skill building activities that you can do with groups of students. Video conference dialogue is online video-based dialogue in a facilitated environment. And the ultimate dialogue adventure is our online educational game, where young people can learn about global issues through online module as well as through written dialogue spaces. So let the global adventures begin. All you need to do is go to generation.global, click on login or sign up now and just create an account. There is no cost for any teacher or any student to access any of the resources or any of our educational products. I just want to end on this message to our educators. Young people are the future of tomorrow, and today you as teachers hold the future in your hands. So let us collectively work together towards a better future by equipping our students with the skills and opportunities they need to become an active global citizen. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Ms. Shruti Sharma, for the presentation. I noticed 2 things from both of your presentations, actually. It's no cost, free, and one thing really interesting is also available on low bandwidth. Yeah, okay, those are the interesting things. Now, let's come to the next one. So I believe that, but before that, let me just remind you again, I believe that the audience is burning his question, because I know I have some question myself, if I still have some time to ask that. Of course, and then if you have some questions, you can put them in the circulated form. I will read them after. But now, we have come to Bapak Ahmad Thohir Yoga. Bapak Yoga is going to share his best practice on the implementation of Generation Global at school. Pak Yoga, the session is yours.
Thank you so very much, Ibu Yuna. That was fantastic introduction. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
A very good morning, a very good afternoon, everyone in Indonesia, and my friends Shruti in India, who has just presented a very energizing presentation about Generation Global. Good morning to my friend Shruti in the United Kingdom with his friends, with her friend. I'm watching now through YouTube live streaming. Also, good evening to everyone, my fellow Generation Global educators in other parts of the globe who happen to be watching from live streaming at the moment. I'm beyond excited with this webinar in a way that this is actually a dream come true. We have been dreaming of finding a way to outreach as many teachers as possible, especially madrasah teachers in Indonesia, to be connected to this amazing Generation Global platform. Alhamdulillah, we can make this happen this afternoon. So I'm really thankful to Professor Ali Ramdhani, to Dr. Muhammad Zain, to everyone at the Directorate of Islamic Education, the Ministry of Religious Affairs in Indonesia. Thank you so much for facilitating this seminar to happen this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, in this very short session, I'm assigned to be sharing about what we have done, what we have been doing at MAN 2 Kota Malang regarding the implementation of Generation Global at school or in the classroom levels. So I want to kick this off by saying that all we need to have is actually a commitment by the school management, the principal, quote unquote, commitment by teachers, like some English teachers who are committed to this will be very good in running this platform. And also commitment by the school stakeholders who are also supporting this in our schools. Alhamdulillah, I have a very good support system at MAN 2 Kota Malang from the schools. The principals have been very supportive, and the deputy principals, all the teachers at schools, and the students who are so into collaborating into Generation Global Club. So at Madrasah Malang, we have a center called Language Development Center, which organized many foreign languages clubs. We have English club, we have Arabic clubs, we have Japanese, French club, German club. So the LDC is also in charge of organizing the TOEFL preparation class for students. For grade 10 and 11, they have to do like TOEFL prep classes, but when they are in grade 12, have to do a TOEFL test. We are working with EF English course in Malang. So we also working in building the international partnership. Like the LDC is like the home for this partnership to happen. So I want to say a quick hello to my friends at Madrasah Malang. We have Ibu Anita, Ibu Emma, Pak Ali, Pak and others who have been very supportive and very collaborative in running the LDC, because this is like the source of energy, the home that everyone can be connected to the world. So LDC are basically in charge of like all the international platform, basically. So I will start quick by sharing a little script about the LDC, just to give a sense of what is that. So this is like where we start with your partnership. Hang on, here. Okay. So yeah, at Madrasah Malang we have this language development center, which is like very central to providing access to the students at Madrasah Malang, providing access to students to be connecting themselves to the world. So we have got this whatever motto: live locally but think and act globally. It means that, you know, like at Madrasah Malang, students are from all over Indonesia basically. So they have very diverse background. They're from Java, they're from Bali, Papua, Kalimantan, Sumatra, so from around Indonesia. So we need to have this, to embrace this motto, just to make them think that okay, they can be living in Malang, in Indonesia, but they have to be thinking and acting as a global citizen. So this is like the motto that we embrace, and that has been our energy so far, to be running many international partnerships. So just a bit info about this center. We have this TOEFL prep class. I believe there are many schools also applying this, but at Madrasah Malang, this is a compulsory program. So from grade 10, then they have been prepared by like having after school TOEFL prep class, and also grade 11. But when they are in grade 12, then they'll be given a compulsory test. So like I mentioned before, that we are working with EF English in Malang. So this is really important because our alumni, like most of our alumni, are continuing their many of them are continuing their study overseas, especially when they finish their undergraduate and they continue their masters and PhD overseas. So this is very basic, and we think this is really important. That will equip the students to be part of the global citizens. So like I mentioned earlier, that we have this Japanese club, French club, German club, Arabic club, English club. So in the past we used to have a Mandarin club, but it's not there anymore. Well, having this club means that we really want to provide access and accommodation to the students' interest. So for those who have big interest in studying in Japan later on, so they can join the Japanese club and so on and so forth. So this is also another part of our job at the LDC, building international connection, the collaboration with our public relations at school. So we have guest teachers from around the world. So this is also very important to bring different color to school. With the diverse community, diverse students, I think it's not difficult to bring this to school. So in the past 10 or 12 years, I believe we have got like more than 100 guest teachers from around the world who have been collaborating with the English teachers, with other teachers at Madrasah Malang. I might need somebody. Right. Well, just a glimpse of what happened on Dr. Malang before talking about how I is this. Okay. Okay, so well, they're from all over the world. There was this group of teachers from America. They've been teaching at Dr. Malang for like 3 or 4 months during the workshop day. So just quick example. So we have guest teachers from European countries, from around the globe, basically from China. Oh, okay. And oh, sorry. Just some example of like yeah, guest teachers. So we have got like teachers from around the globe, basically. Asia, from India, we have also from European countries, from America, from Australia, from everywhere. Basically, just to provide like you know, a cultural exchange, a cultural understanding, people from around the globe. That's great. Okay. Also, I want to come back to. Right. So we also have this Generation Global Video Conference. This has been favorite by all students. Like the video conferences has been amazing, and Ms. Shruti Sharma has just mentioned about the new features of Generation Global with UDA thing. So in the past, we have got classical, and then there was just amazing conferences. We have done a lot of conferences in the past. So we start joining this Generation Global in 2012, and I think we have been very active since then. So if I can just, we have also some other international agencies like with IGSN in Malaysia, with the IIMS in Japan. We also have like sister schools in Malaysia and Australia. So these are all the way we provide access to students. So Generation Global is one of them, and this has been among the few favorite things that students have. So whenever I announce that there will be a video conference, then students are lining up. So it's been fantastic, like the impact on the students, even after they graduate for a long time. Like they've got alumni who have been like graduating like 5-6 years ago. But when I asked them what they remember about school, like one of the things that they remember will be the video conferences joined while they were students at Dr. Malang. So this is just fantastic. So I really thought that it's going to be amazing if we can have more madrasah joining in. We have more teachers, more students joining in this platform, because this is just fantastic. I'm like the live witness of the evolution of Generation Global from time to time, and you know, I've been very blessed and very thankful to Generation Global for providing this amazing platform, because like students need this. Students need this, like teachers need this to provide the access for the students. So if I can just so little example. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Okay. I think now I will just talk a little bit of what I have done in the classroom level. Okay, well, this is what we have been doing at Dr. Malang. We are also integrating Generation Global in the classroom planning. Like I have here, like this master's plan. So we have at least like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, 5 weeks that we dedicate to be connecting students to this UDA platform. Like this morning, I had like 2 classes, and they were doing the, you know, they explored the platform of UDA, and they were so excited. because like I believe if you guys are in Madrasah level, we don't have many topics to discuss for one semester. So well, instead of just stick in the topics in the curriculum, so we take the students to different level of learning English. So if you notice this yellow sign here, so for all 10 graders, we have this second week, discussing about how to develop WH question. This is really important part if we want to connect our students to the international global, because the skills of addressing a question, the skill of responding questions is really important. We also discussed about the nature of discussion, debate, dialogue, like Shruti has just mentioned earlier. So we equip students with this in the second week. So we thought also the curriculum content, but like next week on, actually we start this week on, we'll have like 4 weeks that we dedicate to connecting our students to discussing about generation global. We have this general overview and signing up to the platform. So you guys can always outreach me, outreach Ibu Ibuatiwardani, who will be speaking later on about how to sign up and etc. Because it's really easy, like Shruti mentioned, it's really easy platform to follow. And believe me, your student will be very happy and very excited with learning in your classes. So the second week we guide them. We also guide them to be working on their exploration the University Global platform. Then what we need to do is that they just need to screenshot what they are doing when they are at that moment. So they send a screenshot as a proof that they also do the exploration. The third week, same thing. So we discussed a lot of things there, and by the last week here, they write testimonies. Then we have like a reflection discussion about what they have done in the past like 1 to 3 weeks, getting connected to international global. And I shared last semester with Shruti and Ibuati and Lucy about the students' testimonies. We were so impressed and we're so thankful that we have this platform, because then they thought that this is the best things ever happened to them in terms of learning English and starting to be part of the global community. So I mean, like, please be flexible. You can do all the curriculum stuff, not all the time. Because like we have here a 21 meetings, so we can take like another we take 4 or 5 meetings for discussing about this, and this is just amazing. I mean, the impact on the students is just amazing. So that's very much what we are doing at Madrasah. So yeah, in the past 9-10 years, I've been so blessed, so lucky that we have this. So we have the like the escape zone. We have like the resources when the students ask about international connection things, asking about like the resources that they can reach to be part of the global citizen from the very young age. So I mean that's very much what I can share this afternoon about your practice. I mean how I practice, how we practice, how we implement like the Generation Global platform, the classroom level at Mandua Kota Malang. So I really hope that what we'll be discussing about like the outlook of Generation Global in Indonesia in the past like 10-11 years, and then we can be reached like anytime. We'll be very happy, because like I said to Dr. Zen earlier, like yesterday, that we have been wanting to outreach the teachers and students from Madrasah across Indonesia, but alhamdulillah then we find a way through this webinar. So this is just the opening gate that we want. It's just the starting point. So the real battle happens after the webinar. Okay, so please after this webinar, if you think you need to provide access for your students, if you need your school to be part of the world, this is the best place to start. So please outreach us. You can just contact me, contact Ibuati. Shruti and Lucy will be available like 24 hours all the time. Like I've been like traveling them for like forever. So thank you so much, Shruti, Lucy, Ibuati, for being amazing partners in the past 9-10 years. Thank you so much. That's very much like what I can share about the implementation of Global at pendis.kemenag.go.id. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Over to you, Ibu Yuna.
Thank you, Pak Yoga. Pak Yoga, one thing I actually noticed is that how smoothly you integrate all the material into your teaching and learning in class.
Absolutely. So you have to try this one.
Yeah, I do hope somebody going to ask about that, so you can explain further about that.
So we will have
Thank you. Now we're going to move to the
this for sure.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh yes, yes. That's a theme for next webinar, I guess. Okay, now let's move to the last presentation today, Generation Global Outlook in Indonesia by Ibu Ibuatiwardani. Ibu Ibuatiwardani, Ibu, are you there?
Yes, Ibu Yuna, can you hear me?
Okay, great. Yes, the time is yours, please.
Okay, let's take a deep breath after listening that much information. Oke, yang terhormat Bapak-bapak, Ibu-ibu, guru madrasah seluruh Indonesia, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So first of all, okay, let me say Alhamdulillah for the opportunity given to me by Allah to see you, the dedicated teachers of Madrasah, wonderful people. It's been years to wait for this opportunity. As Pak Yoga said, that we have been discussing how this good or this great program be shared with the teachers from Madrasah or Pesantren. It's been a long time, but maybe we have to wait for the pandemics when everyone is aware of the importance of teachings or learnings online. So we have been in Indonesia for 10 years, and we have been working with the National Commissions for UNESCO under the Associated School Project Net UNESCO. And then I was blessed also to invite one of the Madrasah schools, Mantu Malang, wants to get our trainings in Jakarta. So I was blessed to have Pak Yoga, who is very committed for this program. So today is not only meeting this beautiful, this wonderful, dedicated teachers, but thanks that I'm also connected. Generation Global, Lucy, Shruti is also connected directly with the Department of Religious Affairs through Bapak Muhammad Ali Ramdhani, General Director of Islamic Education, Mora Indonesia. Thank you, Pak. And also Bapak Muhammad Zain, the Director of Teachers and Education Staff of Madrasah Mora Indonesia. So thank you, Pak Zain. Hopefully we'll discuss further about this program. So my turn now is just to take you have a look a bit about our website, where all the speakers before have told you. So to get you better understanding is about what I have been talking about. So we have a very unique programs. This is a new program, so very unique. We call it the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure. Shruti has already explained about this, but how it looks. So please, to access that website, you click the adventure.general.global. Then here, I have already opened the website. So once again, note adventure.generation.global. And then you will see there are two parts. Yeah. One is for students, and the other one is for teachers. So make sure you will go to the for teachers, not for students. And always remind your students to go to the for students when they sign up on login, when they sign up. Yeah, because we have found so many students register or sign up using 4 teachers. That makes confusion. Okay, for you, the teachers. See, for the student, they will learn about, they can sign up here and then log in. And so they will learn about how the ultimate dialogue or adventure works for them. And then for you, the teachers, here is your place. You sign up. So hopefully there will be some of you already registered and have created the account. So if you have, you just log in. So if you haven't, you sign up. So while listening to what I'm explaining here, maybe if you have a laptop with you, you can start to sign up through adventure.generation.global. Okay, when you sign up, very quickly, again, you will see there are still 2 places here for your student, for you to sign up. So I will just skip this because you can learn this very quickly. So after signing up, it's completed, you automatically can log in. Yeah. So you log in. So what is happening here? And then you will see on your accounts, your profile that you can edit anytime. Yeah. And then dashboard. Okay, let's learn about the dashboard. So here we go. So how you make use of these programs for your classroom, especially English. But actually, the ultimate dialogue is not only for English, because again, our mission actually is to help your student to have skills of dialogue. There are 4 skills, and there are 5 skills that we will focus on. So actually, we can involve the civic teachers or maybe other teachers related to the topics that are provided here. Okay, on the teacher's dashboard, then you can have my classes, where you can create class. For my student, when you can book a video conference, and for me, where you can access teaching resources, review topic, and professional developments here. So how you create classes, that's very important. That's everyone would like to know. Okay, here my account. Then I have already created 2 classes, but only 1 student in my class. So what happens? How to create classes? Just click classes and then create class. As I said, I have already 1 class. Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, when you create class, wait a minute. See how to create class, add student here. So you can have as many students as possible if you wish. Okay, if you have five classes, you can invite all your students from your class. Okay, so let's see. Just get your emails of your student and write the emails here, collect the emails, and then send invitations to them. So once students get the invitations, and then the students will get a kind of information that if your student have already had the accounts in the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, so it is said that they are directly linked with the accounts of the teachers. So if your student hasn't registered, hasn't got the accounts in the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, they will be asked to first sign up the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure before it links to the teacher's account here. Okay, then here we go. I have 1 student in my class. You may have 10, 20, or 25 in 1 class. Okay, then what happened with my class? What do I want to do with my class? Okay, I have students. If I want to add more students, they just click the add student, and the procedure the same thing. And then what do I want to do with my students, with my class? See, you can when you click your class, appear assigned topics. You may assign topics. You see what's the topic here, as you have learned before. So we provide that many topics for the students to learn and then to put it in practice in the video conference. So civics, climate change, culture, belief, values, education, and so on. And you can choose, for example, class 1, okay, I would like them to learn about climate change. Okay, I will not go further. So if you are interested in, we'll discuss more about later. But at least you get some idea about how you integrate your English class to this program. Okay, say assign class, and then this is really what the teachers would like to see, how I can track the progress of my students. Generation Global generously prepare everything for you, so not to be busy. Okay, see, you will have the class report. When you open it, there will be a group of your students, okay, on that class, and it tells everything, the progress of your student here. Okay, then okay, manage class. You can remove student, rename class, and delete class. When you remove your students, so don't worry, your students will be removed from your class only, but the account in the ultimate dialogue adventure still remains. Okay? Also, when you delete classes, so one class deleted, but your student can still keep on working in the ultimate dialogue adventure. Okay, then that's how you create classes and what to do with your classes. And now you may have book a video conference. So when your students are ready and you are ready, okay, so book a video conference. So as we heard before, that there are 2 ways for students to join video conference. They can individually book video conference, or they can join the school booking here. Okay, here, list of the schedules for the video conference. So it's already from August that many that you can just pick up which one would you like to have. But if you'd like to say, for example, okay, I would like to, because my student is still beginning, I would like to get the one which is very simple, okay? Not too complicated. Maybe you can choose the identity and belonging. It's telling about the student's identity, okay? And then see, it's already clusters all in identity. So that's the age of the student. So usually we have what is grouped by the age of the students. But if you see here, 13, 14 to 17, actually is from SMP through SMA. But we group students from SME as age 13 to 14 and SMA 15 to 17. But if you see this is mixed, this is actually, there is a connection with what we did last month. So we had a special program, video conference for sustainable development goal. But by December up, you see that it's already grouped based on their age. So 13 to 14 is SMP, 15 to 17 is SMA. So there is 60 places left. It means maximum participants here is 60. If you see there's 58 places left, it means that there are only 2 participants registered in this video conference, in this slot. Okay, if you want to see which country, yeah, when you click here, and then you will see the 2 participants already registered to that slot is from Indonesia. So students or teachers book that slot or that schedule. The what is to know. So from which countries is the flags will be displayed here. Okay, then, okay, that's about booking. Then next, for you. So your bookings, identity and belonging, and you ask, oh, what about the resource? Where can I get the resource? So teaching resources is available for you all. So as already mentioned, the teaching resources is very flexible. Build your own lesson plan according to your time availability. Easy to teach, adaptive levels. Okay, read the teacher companions guide later. And then we have this all resources available here that you can download. Okay, but first thing to do is download the essential of dialogue and learn about it. That's all what your students will learn by themselves in the ultimate dialogue adventure. Okay, then, okay, you are not allowed to come to the ultimate dialogue adventure. That's really your students' work. Okay? But how do you know, how do teachers know what the students do in the ultimate dialogue adventure? So for example, if you give your students the identity, class 1, for example, identity and belonging, and you will see here, you can review the topics identity and belonging here. What is there? What does the student learn in the identity and belonging? And then you can review here. That's what students learned in the ultimate dialogue adventure. So when you assign your students, okay, to complete the identity and belonging, you know what is the topic covered, and then all. So sophisticated actually for students. So what are you waiting for, if I can say? So it's not only your students develop the skills of English, listening, writing, speaking, and reading, but at the same time, as already mentioned before, we help you to help your students become an active global citizen, students who are open-minded, students who have skills of dialogue, active listening, critical thinking, global communication, reflection, and so on. Okay, this is just one example how each topic presented in the ultimate dialogue adventure. Okay, then I think learning dojo, and then you can learn by yourself later. When you have registered, you can open it and then learn. If you have trouble, we are ready to help you for more discussion, for detailed guidance, for you to be able to take your student to be active on the programs. Okay, I think that's what I would like to share with you. I think we would like to give more opportunities for you to ask questions. So I would like to give this to the moderator, Puyuna. So I think we are happy to respond to questions that might have been on the chat box or on the form you have provided. Thank you very much. So see you hopefully soon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Ibu Ati. Now I'm going to put all of you on the spotlight. Well, Ibu Ati, can I remove your sharing? Okay, thank you. Now I'm going to call all the presenter here. Wait, let me find Prayoga. And one more, Miss Sharma. Okay, there you go. I have everyone on the screen now. Okay, now is the discussion session. For the audience in the room, if you have some questions, please click on the raise hand button and open your camera so we know that you are ready to ask questions. I will also deliver the questions that have been submitted through the form. We have around, I guess, 25 minutes. Yeah, it's like actually 18 minutes for this discussion session. I'm going to start from the one in the form first. There is actually a tingling question, but also quite important. How do you start joining the global, Generation Global? Who's going to be better explaining this? Oh yeah, thank you, Miss Sharma. Yes, please, Miss Sharma, there is this repeated question. How do we start joining this Generation Global?
Great. Thank you so much for that question. And thank you so much for listening attentively to all of us. So to join Generation Global, as Vati just showed you, all you need to do is go to the website and create an account on the teacher portal. It's as simple as that. I'll paste the link to the website again. All you need to do is go to the website, click on sign up now and create an account on the teacher portal. It'll take you less than 2 minutes to create your account. And once you're in, then you can invite your students to the platform. You can book video conferences, access all the resources. So it's really, it'll take 2 minutes of your time to sign up.
That easy? Okay. So, okay, that easy. Now,
Very easy.
Yeah, it is. Okay, now I'm going to move to the people in the audience. Let's check. Bapak Ahmad Suhaili. Bapak Ahmad Suhaili, are you there? I don't think he's. Bapak Ahmad Suhaili, are you there? Do you have questions? Yes.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, Bapak. Your voice is a little bit soft, but could you please speak up?
Test. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, please.
I want to ask about if our institution or our join this program for. Can you show us the way how to connect or to collaborate with this program?
Thank you, Bapak Ahmad Suhaili. I guess Miss Sharma already explained how to actually join that, but how to connect with other teachers around the world or other students around the world? Is it possible to do that through the Generation Global?
Yes. I can respond to that, and then Vati can also add how she can connect with the teachers later. So yes, it's very much possible to connect. So as soon as you create an account, you need to add your students, invite them to Generation Global, and there is this option called book a video conference. So as soon as you click on that, you will see the list of all the topics, the date, the time, the age group, the language. So just pick a slot that suits your timetable and reserve your place. Just book the video conference. As soon as you book the video conference, about 14 days before, 10 to 14 days before each video conference, we will confirm it. So we will let you know whether that video conference is confirmed or not. And on the day of the video conference, that's when you'll interact with, the students your students will interact with students from different countries. So the students that have signed up for that video conference. And we also, from time to time, for teachers, organize events known as dialogue circles. So where teachers around the world can come together and share their experiences and best practices of using not just Generation Global resources, but on different even global issues. So last year we had dialogue circles on the experience of teaching in a pandemic. So there are opportunities for both teachers as well as students. All you need to do is create your account. For students, book a video conference. For teachers, you will find this under professional development. So there are those opportunities. But I'll also let Vati, and I'll post Vati's contact details in the chat. Feel free to reach out to Vati at the end of this webinar, and she will guide you better on how you can start your journey with Generation Global. Vati, do you also want to say something and just explain a little more, please?
Well, I think it's clear enough. I think we are still waiting for more questions to answer. So as you said, that I will be ready to guide them deeper after the webinar.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sharma and also Ibuati. Now I'm going to go to the questionnaires in the form. There is this very good questions by Ibu Fitri Nur Cahyati from Man 1 Sumedang. She's asking, wait, let me see. I couldn't see it for the name. Okay. Is there any age range to become a young generation global? And also how, maybe this is for Pak Ahmad Tahir Yoga, Pak Yoga, how to motivate your students to be a young generation global? Yes. Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, maybe Pak Yoga? Or,
okay.
I guess it's
Thank
based on
you
your
so much,
experience.
Bu Yuna. Yeah, I'll just briefly answer that question about how to motivate or how to make the students join the Generation Global. Yeah, like Shruti has just mentioned that it's now very, very easy to be connecting our students to Generation Global. In the past, was a bit difficult because school has to be registering and then get the approval from Generation Global Board Committee in London. But now everything is getting much, much easier. So I think as soon as students get into the platform, students get into the UDA account, then they will be very excited. We don't have to motivate them to join or please be part of the Generation Global. No, we don't have to do that because they'll be excited as soon as they are in the platform. So trust me, it works at Madrasah Malang, and I believe it works at your school. Fitri. So there is, I mean, like it starts from age 13 to 18. So from MTS to MA, or from SMP to SMA Indonesia. So, well, that's very much a brief answer from me. Thank you so much.
Yoga, please add a little more information. Do you actually, like, you focusing on Man 2 Kota Malang? Can somebody else also join your platform from different school, or does it work?
Yeah, well, as per my part, as per my role, because I'm teaching at Mandok Kota Malang, yes, I introduced this to my students at Mandok Kota Malang, but like I mentioned earlier, that me and Wati and other Generation Global Board Committee are so into having as many teachers as possible to meet the platform. So I went to Papua and then introduced this to a school there, and they've been connected and they're so excited. I went to Kendari, Man 1 Kota Kendari, and also to Man Konawe Selatan. It's far away from Malang. Well, the reason why I did that, because I really think that this is just a really good platform that, you know, if we have more students or more madrasah students joining in, it will be just fantastic. So I'm being very thankful this afternoon. I'm feeling very blessed. So hopefully after this, so like I said, this is just the entry point. This is just the opening gate. The real battle is after this webinar. So Ibu Wati and I will be well, we'll be very happy to help out if you guys have questions. So inshallah, later while we send out the certificate, we might also put our contact, Ibu Wati contact, my contact, Shruti contact, Lucy contact. So while in Indonesia, of course, Ibu Wati and me can be contacted. So you guys can outreach us as soon as you get your certificate delivered to you. So thank you.
Thank you, Pak Yoga. Okay, now we're going to go back.
Okay, let me add something. That the ultimate dialogue actually was launched last year. when the pandemic came, as Lucy already told us, why we had the ultimate dialogue adventure, because we would like the student continue working with Generation Global, and then everything is it's goes so easily. That's why we are so excited. I feel so excited to introduce this. That now you see how the teachers can integrate the ultimate dialogue to the classroom. Before, it's not that simple. That's why there are many schools register and then they kept quiet. Yeah, that's because it involves a lot with the teachers' interaction here, while teachers say it's so busy, but not with this ultimate dialogue adventure. Okay, that's I see by you guys smiling, because we know, we
That's
know that
absolutely
teacher
true,
is also
Ibuati.
excited. And then do not underestimate the ability of the student of junior high school. They're all doing the ultimate dialogue so well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibuati. Thank you, Pak Yoga. Now I'm going to come back to the teachers in the room. I have Bapak Amril Ihsan. Bapak Amril Ihsan, could you please introduce yourself and also where you are from?
Oke. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I am Amril Ihsan. I am from Mansatu, Batanghari, Jambi Province. I want to ask Mrs. Haiter, actually. Mrs. Haiter, Director of Generation Global United Kingdom. I have heard your explanation before that Generation Global is one of the program is global communication. Is engage people around the world to have communication globally. One of the main problem in communication is, according to me, is politeness. I have read some recent research that show that innocent people, innocent netizen is impolite in media social communication. Do you think that politeness is important in global communication? Do you think that politeness is important in media social communication? Thank you, Mrs. Haiter.
Thank you, Bapak from Pekanbaru, ya. Please, Ms. Haiter. Wait. Okay, wait. Yes.
Thank you very. Yes, please. Thank you very much for your question. I think it's an excellent one, and politeness is very important as a means of communication. It's respect, it's listening carefully, and it's being respectful in the way that you communicate and the way that you respond. And I think it is part of what we call respect, and it is a part of active listening and global communication. You're absolutely right. And being courteous and using body language, eye contact, engaging with someone, showing that you're listening, showing that you're understanding, you're appreciating what they're saying. You may not necessarily agree, but showing that and showing courtesy with please and thank yous is very important. And something that actually we teach in Generation Global as well. When you speak as an individual, you speak from the I perspective, I believe, I think, and you also say thank you when you've completed what you've said. So politeness is very important. You're absolutely right. In any form of communication, whether it's media communication or communicating with your family, your friends, your peers, people you know, people you don't know, it's really important as a means of that global communication. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Lucy, for the answer. Now I'm going to go back to the form again. I have this very interesting questions from Bapak Nurjadid, Mansalatiga, Jawa Tengah, so from Central Java. So do you have a topic discussing how to cope up with the pandemic situation these days? Like students lack of internet, low bandwidth, parents losing their job, laziness, stressful because of the pandemic. Do you have such topic discussed in the the adventure, the platform. And who's going to answer? Maybe Ibu Wati or Shruti or.
Sure, I can go ahead and then perhaps Lucy and Vati can add to it. So we don't, thank you for the question again, a very interesting question, as you said, Yuna. So we don't have a dedicated topic for, coping with the pandemic, but what happens is through each of the topics that we have, there is a theme or a sub-theme on, how the pandemic has impacted their young people's understanding of that issue. Say, for example, if we're in a video conference called climate change, right? So invariably, young people will bring up the impact of the pandemic on climate change, and they will dialogue about that. Similarly, if there is a video conference on education, young people, it comes up and it is a sub-theme of how, of their experience of learning online through a pandemic. So each of the topics, we thought it was best to have a sub-theme in all the topics instead of just having a dedicated topic for coping with the pandemic, because a lot of times it is a very sensitive area for different people, because we've gone through very challenging experiences this past year and we continue to do so. So as they go to different global issues, we want them to analyze and think critically about that issue from the lens of the pandemic. So it becomes a sub-theme. I hope that answers your question. And Lucy and Vati, please feel free to add to that.
Lucy and Ibu Wati, maybe you want to add something to that topic? Okay. Wait, I still could not hear you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, lovely. I mean, I think Shruti captured it very well. So because the pandemic covers so many different aspects of your life, education, social, economic, political, environmental, as Shruti mentions, that to have one topic on coronavirus, you could be going off in different directions. So essentially it comes up, as Shruti says, in aspects that to do with climate change, to do with rights and equality, equality for students. So in our Sustainable Development Goals series that we completed in July, in our inequality SDG, students were talking about inequality of access to vaccines, inequality in access to provision of healthcare, inequality. So all of these aspects come up by the students themselves. So as Shruti said, we don't have a dedicated one, but we do have it integrated, and students are available, are free to talk about it in any of our dialogue sessions. Thanks.
Thank you. Ibu Wati, you want to add something?
Well, I think it's enough. It's clear enough from the two.
Thank you. Now I'm going to go to the audience in the room. We have Ibu Asih Retno Susanti. Ibu Asih Retno Susanti, are you there? Ibu Asih. Okay, I don't think she's there. Let's go to Ibu Astri Wulandari. Ibu Astri Wulandari.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Could you please introduce yourself and where you are from?
Thank you very much. I'm Astri Wulandari from MTS N1 Kota Serang, Banten Province. It's so interesting material in this opportunity. Then I want to ask to Miss Ibuatiwardani. Miss Wati, how are you?
Okay, great.
Yeah. Miss Wati, I'm so interested about the digital platform here, and this is one of the solution for teacher and students, especially Miss Wati. And this is actually I have been apply one of the digital platform like Quipper. Is it the same of the Quipper? And also, as I know that this platform can be downloaded or not, because it sounds tangled when we ask students to join the class. So they have to open the platform first, or maybe there is an application to students to download it first. And then for the next question is about the video of the, what is it? Video in that platform. Is it ready or not? And the teachers especially should prepare the material first, or there are materials is ready for use. for the teachers? It's the questions from Ms. Wati. Thank you very much, Ms. Wati.
Thank you,
Okay,
Ibu.
so the question is for me. I think you're
Yes.
talking about Kuiper. I think Shruti is more expert in this case. Shruti, could you help me?
Sure.
Okay, yes,
I
Ms.
just try
Sharma.
it
Yes.
a long time ago.
Generation Global, the teacher portal. So it's not, it's different from Kuiper or other LMS or digital platforms you use for students. So there is, a big difference. So you need to create an account on the Generation Global platform to be able to access all the resources and to book video conferences. In terms of the materials that you asked for, so all the materials are already available on the teacher portal. So all the teaching resources, you can just download them and do exercises with your students, or you can even assign a topic so they can do the topic on the portal itself. So when the students create an account, you can just assign a topic, say rights of women and girls, you just assign it from the portal and the content is all there and students can, independently navigate through that content. And your third question on, the application, whether it's an application, how can students download it? So it's a website. So on, and it's compatible on the mobile phone or your laptop or your tablet. All students and teachers need to do is enter the address, the website address, and that's how you can access it. So that is why it, since it's not an application, it's a website, it makes it work across, it's compatible across different devices, and it also works in low bandwidth areas. So areas that have poor internet connectivity. I imagine there are some parts, across Indonesia that don't have the best internet connectivity as, say, a city like Jakarta would. So because it's a website, students can then students and teachers both can easily access it. I hope that response answers all your questions.
Thank you, Ms. Sharma. Now I collected several similar questions from the form. Does this platform only use English, or do you have other languages as well? Do you have Bahasa Indonesia? Even that's like one of the questions. Yeah.
Thank you so much again. I was waiting when this question is going to come. I was actually surprised how no one has asked this yet. So we actually offer video conferences in Bahasa, in Indonesian. So, on the platform, when you go to see, Indonesian is one of the very few languages that we offer video conferences in. We're working to expand the languages in which we offer different video conferences, but Bahasa is definitely one of them. And in terms of our resources, the offline teaching resources, they're available in Arabic, in Ukrainian, in Urdu. We have, I think, a couple of resources in Bahasa also. And depending on, and this is something we want to do, right? Because the response that we've got today is phenomenal. So that is definitely something we want to work in collaboration with the ministry, and explore if we can translate all our resources into Bahasa.
Oh, thank you. That's actually answer the questions. But
Okay,
Ibuati, you want to continue? Yes,
yeah,
please.
can I just add? You see that as I mentioned before, that the ultimate dialogue adventure is not meant for English teachers actually, but Indonesian, because this is an international program. So for the English, but it can be used for other teachers like civics teachers. You see, because that's why we offer a local video conference Indonesian. Again, our objective is how students is able, or help our students develop their skills of dialogue instead of English. Of course, English actually is just the impacts, the good sides of the Generation Global. So bring your students, especially for those who wants to learn how to develop the skills of dialogue, provide them, take them to the Indonesian one. Or the student who might also wants to develop the ability to speak in Arabic, because we also provide video conference in Arabic. So one of the teacher told me that, oh, we have a student, we have a school connected with our school in Australia, and they learn bahasa Indonesia. And then, so yeah, why not connect it with Australian in Indonesian language? So again, so use the Indonesian video conference to help your student develop their skills of dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you, Buati, for the additional information. Now, I'm going to come back to the audience in the room. Now, we have here with us, I guess, Ibu Yuli Saiful Bahri. Ibu Yuli Saiful Bahri, are you there?
I'm a man.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bapak Yuli Saiful Bahri. I'm sorry. Yes, Bapak Yuli Saiful Bahri,
It's
please.
okay. It's okay.
Could you please
Because
introduce
of
yourself?
Yuli is very popular. Yuli is a woman, but I'm a man.
Yeah, okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam, Bapak Yuli. Bapak Yuli, where are you from?
I'm from Madrasah Aliyah Bali Bina Insani in Tabanan, Bali Island, the God's Island, and it's very popular. And I'm very happy to attend this meeting. Thank you very much for Miss Haiter, Miss Shruti, Ibu Wati, and Pak Yoga, and of course Ibu as the Master of Ceremony. A very amazing moment because of we are the senior high school, Bali Bina Insani Senior High School in Tabanan is a Muslim school in Hindu environment. So we have very tolerance communication, but we have still many problems to make the students coming up and be global in thinking. So this program I need for my school exactly to follow as soon as possible. So please, when we are entering this program, you might accepting us. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Yuli, for the Pak Yoga. We might need to. Do you have like this also a question to respond to Pak Yuli request? Actually, Pak Yoga, do you have a platform? Maybe Buati and Pak Yoga, do you have like a chat group
Right.
or
Yes,
something like that?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bu Yuna. Thank you so much, my brother, Pak Yuli Saiful Bahri from Tabanan. Because my wife is from Bali, so I need to answer his question. Yes,
okay.
You are now welcome at the moment. This time, you are part of Generation Global. I mean, you don't have to wait like later. But as soon as you say yes, I want to connect my student to Generation Global, then you are welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
So, well, especially for students in Bali, this is really important because it's so diverse there. We have like majority Hindus there, but we have also many Muslims, Islamic schools there. So I think this is also a really good platform that you can connect your students to this. We have WhatsApp group, Ibu Yuna, Pak Saiful Bahri, for all Generation Global teachers in Indonesia, and Buati is the mother of all the teachers connected to the WhatsApp group International Global Indonesia. So we have been very active, we have been very communicative so far. So thank you, Buati, for that. So don't worry, Pak Yuli, Buati will be outreaching you as soon as possible after this. So welcome to Generation Global, Pak Yuli. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ibu Wati, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I think it's clear what Yoga said. Yeah, we have soon you registered and I have your name, then I will invite you. Welcome to Generation Global Club. Enjoy
Thank you very much.
Yuli.
Thank you very much.
Ibu Wati, a little side information. How many schools have joined this Generation Global movement?
I think the active ones we have. As Lucy said, the trained teachers over hundreds, 300, 700, but the active ones is over 70 schools. So
all over Indonesia.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So we'll have more connection.
And not yet many madrasah, Ibu Wati and Bu Yuna. Not yet many madrasah. So we really hope after this webinar, there'll be more madrasah like Pak Yuli's school joining in. So we're gonna have big clubs of generation global teachers in Indonesia.
Yeah.
As I said, Bu Yuna, because the problem of the teachers with the old, as you said, this is a new one. The Ultimate Dialogue Adventure was launched last month, and with the portal teachers portal was just launched this last month. Okay, the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure last year, and then for the teachers, we have the portal for the teachers is just last month. Okay, so previously we have Generation Global website and activities. It means what is teachers can get a kind of burden. They say, okay, they were too busy and the internet connection is too low, and there's so many reasons. They come and then go. So because this is up to you. So even when you register and then you do nothing, we cannot say anything. So once again, we provide you all for free. And then it depends on the commitment for you, for the teachers, whether you really keep working with all the obstacles, with all the challenges to give it to your students. So do not, I say, do not ignore, even if you have, if you have 25 or 100 students in our platform, and then only 10 students are active, that means a lot to us. Okay, there is some students keep on working with Generation Global, even when they have already an alumni. They join the alumni, what do you call it, Shruti? They are trained
alumni
to
moderators.
Moderator. So they are trained to be moderator of the Ultimate Dialogue Adventure, working together with the alumni from many schools from different countries. So just keep on working, hopefully with the new website, with the new system, so you will be more excited. And teachers who are so far inactive or sleeping, well, I'm trying to wake them. Okay, hey, we have new things. Come on. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ibuwati. Thank you, Pak Yoga. I'm so sorry, we are running out of time, but we really need to answer this one last question from Ibu Lisa Saparia, Man Insan Cendekiat Sambas. So I'm really interested with the idea of connecting teachers and students globally. We have to give students the real exposure toward English language. My question is, what to prepare for our students before they join this global connecting program? Now, yeah, I guess that's one last, great questions.
Can I go?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Ibu Lisa. That was a very good question. Like what you mentioned earlier, it was very challenging on part of the teachers in the past. But with the new system, with the new website, everything is now very, very, very easy. So just direct your students to the website, and then as soon as they get the account created there, then they'll be very happy and excited. So in the past, Buwati and all the teachers were struggling to be like, creating class, creating schedule, because like every teacher has got their schedule from school, and with this additional schedule from the conferences, it was not easy. If they're not committed, they'll just go away. But with this new system, it's really, really easy, Bu Lisa. So as soon as Bu Lisa give them the link, and then they sign up, then let them explore. Like what I'm doing like this week, next 3 weeks will be facilitating their question, or like just discussing things that they find out in their websites. So it's really easy on the part of teachers right now. So welcome to Generation Global, Ibu Lisa.
Okay.
Can I just quickly add to what please. Yoga said? Yes. So for the preparation, you also have all the resources, the teaching resources. You can do those activities. So download, Essentials of Dialogue or Climate Change. You can download the resource, and there are activities with all steps and instructions. So you can do those activities in your class, be it online or offline if you're teaching face-to-face. Also, when you book a video conference, when you go to book a video conference, there is an agenda on each page. So you can, and there are some questions which will help you, so you can discuss those questions before the video conference with your students as a way to prepare them or get them to think critically. So as Yoga said, the ultimate dialogue adventure, you assign them a topic so they can do that as homework on their own, and when students have time after school. But when you're in school, you can do activities from the resources and also discuss the agenda questions. So doing all three or a combination of the three will ensure that your students are prepared for the video conference.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry, Miss Hater, Miss Sharma, Pak Yoga, and Ibu Ibuati. I know we still have a lot of questions here in my hands, also in the room, but the time has come to the end. Bapak Ibu, if you still have some question or would like to have some follow-up discussion, Pak Yoga and Ibu Ibuati are welcome to take more questions and discussion. Is that right, Pak Yoga and Ibu Ibuati? Do you mind if I share your phone number, contact number to the audience in the room?
Please
and
do.
Also, but in
Yes,
the,
sure.
how about the one in the, was that YouTube live streaming? Is it okay if I put the,
Sure.
the contact there?
Sure, please.
Okay,
On
so
the
I'm
sake
going to
of,
share.
on the sake
Okay,
of the Generation Global and the nation's kids, please do that.
Okay, wait. I'm going to share your contact through so that people in the now. Can you see my whiteboard there?
Yep.
I'm going to share your contact, Ibu Ibuati and Pak Yoga there, so people in the YouTube live streaming can actually take a screenshot there, or people here can also take a screenshot so they can contact you later. So be prepared if you have like thousands of people keep asking about that, okay?
Thousands.
I guess, yeah, because in the YouTube live streaming we have actually 2,000, almost 3,000 people watching that.
So
okay.
Welcome.
Yeah. Okay, now I must really close this webinar. Thank you everyone for attending. Thank you for participating. Thank you for the lovely time. I know this is not a goodbye. It is a see you later, as I believe the Ministry of Religious Affairs after this will hold other inspiring talks for us teachers in the future. So thank you, Ibu Ibuati, Lucy, Pak Yoga, Shruti Sharma, and thank you everyone for attending this. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, Yuna, for great moderator.
Yes.
Thank you, Pak.
Thank you so much,
Yuna. Thank you everyone for joining. I will see.
Next time.
For all the support, Pak Zen.
Yeah, we are waiting for the next.
Of university, like Harry Potter film.
Yeah, it's very classical
Like
city. Pak Zen, thank you so much for the support, Pak Zen.
Yes, okay.
So we're looking forward to have another webinar soon.
Luar biasa, almost 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Oh, we have 4,000, Pak Zen.
Yes.
We have 3,000 on YouTube. We have 1,000 here.
Amazing webinar, inshallah.
That is amazing.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pak.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yuna. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
I'm going to end the meeting.
Thank you, Pak Papai. Behind the scene man, Pak Papai, Pak Taufik, Pak siapa kemarin, Pak Soleh, and everyone at GTK. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. I'm going to end the session for us.
Bye-bye.